Hi everyone and welcome back. In this tutorial we're going to cover the inbuilt map method in JavaScript. The map method allows us to iterate over an array of values. So it can be an array of strings, an array of numbers, etc. We can do something and then push those new elements or values into a new array. So that's what we're going to do in this tutorial. So what I've done is I've created an array called prices and I've just assigned it some various numbers here. And our boss wants us to double the prices, so that's what we have to do. But what I can do is create a new array. I can say let new prices, or higher prices, be equal to prices, the original array up here, but using dot notation I'm going to access the inbuilt map method in JavaScript. And what we need to do is we need to pass in a callback function. The callback function is essentially going to fire or run for each element in the original array. So it's going to run 5 times. So we need to get a reference to each element or value in the original array. And I'm going to get a reference to it by saying price. So we saw previously with functions how when we're passing in an argument we have to define a parameter and then we can get a reference to that parameter inside of the code block for the function. Callback function, I don't say it's quite similar, but really price here is just a reference to each element in the original array that we're iterating over. So what we can do is just run our arrow function and run some code. So what are we looking to do? Well, what we can do is we can just return each price. Okay, so price is just a reference to each element in the original array. We'll return that, but double it by timesing it by 2. So if I just console.log out array 1, so before the price hike, what we're going to see is prices. Let me just prove this to you. So the original array, we have 20, 80, 15, 90, and 500. But in the new array, array 2, if I now log out the array called new prices, what we're going to see is the prices have doubled. Okay, so if I just refresh, so you see here, array 1, we have those values, and array 2, we have those values. Okay, so we've essentially doubled the prices. And the key point to note is that the map method is very useful. It can be used, on strings, it can be used on numbers, etc. But one other thing as well is just going back to arrow functions, because we've only defined one parameter here inside of the parentheses, you can actually just delete that and the code will still work. Okay, so if I just refresh, it still works. And what you'll note as well is that the map method is a non-destructive array. It doesn't alter the values of the original array. Rather, we do something and then push those values into a new array. So the original array, array 1 or prices, those original values, the elements there have not been altered, but the new array is our array with the new values. So the map method is very useful. We'll work again with this in the next tutorial. We'll cover strings and just get some more practice. Map is one of my favorite methods to use with arrays, definitely worth knowing. So I'll see you in the next tutorial.